Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Live Lessons. My name is Aldrin Guerrero. I am an instructor for today, and joining me is Mr. Aaron, the voice Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
And also Mr. Kahai Fergan. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
All right. I know some of you folks, if you guys are watching this for the first time, you're like, why is he looking over there? Why is he looking over there? That's because the two guys in the room are on this side of me and on this side. So whenever you see me looking over here, I'm looking at Kahai. You see me looking over here, I'm looking at Aaron, and how this works is these two fine gentlemen are going to be helping me today to answer any and all of your questions. If you guys have any questions, post them on the UU Plus forum, and because we are live, please use the live chat, ask us anything that you want. We're going to try to tackle as many questions as we can. So think of this kind of like as a private instructor, okay? So I'm your private instructor. If you have any questions or if you're having difficulties or problems with anything, I'll make sure to address them and try to see if I can correct whatever you're having a hard time with or give you some advice on what to do next. All right? So that's how this works. Let's get started. So Kahai over here is going to let me know the question.
Christine asked earlier.
Yes.
Sorry, gotta find it now. Oh, she was just asking about what is that? What is a strum that you do like after you show chords or like when you're showing chords? Like what are you doing with your?
So what I do is called a roll. So I just like to I'd like to roll my my strum basically. So I start up with my thumb on the up. So this is something that I like to add to the roll. You don't necessarily have to add this, but the roll is just cascading your fingers. So you're gonna make this kind of the staircase. Okay, so it's kind of like you can walk up the stairs like this, like a staircase, right? So your pointer finger is going to be the last thing. So the last thing it's gonna hit. So it's gonna hit pinky first. Okay, so pinky, ring, middle, pointer. So pinky, ring, middle, pointer. So when I use my thumb to go on the up strum and then do that pinky, ring, middle, pointer, so I do. The thumb just kind of gives it an extra beat. So this thumb works kind of like my up strum. You know, like how you strum up and then do the roll? So this thumb kind of acts like my up strum. And I like to follow it up with an up strum right at the end. I don't really see, anybody using this all too much other than showing people what the chord is. Because it's not really that practical unless you want to add it to the endings of your songs or something, So you're like, like something like that. But in a normal like strumming pattern, it's not really that practical, but right at the end, sounds good. Or if you're showing somebody the chords or something, just like how we do here in UU.
That sounded very Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Like, I expected that from like a kumu. Yeah. And then the
Kumi Ali is here.
I think some people think like, oh, I gotta learn how to do that so I can do it when he's playing the chord too.
Yeah. No.
But really, the reason why you're strumming like that is so they can hear all the notes in the chord itself. Yeah.
So you can. We're just kind of sustaining that chord. So if I just kind of play it like this, then you'd only hear it that one time. But if I keep strumming the chord, at least whenever you feel like joining in, you can join in. You can compare how you sound to the way that we do on the videos. That's basically why we do it. So we want to give you guys a lot to work with instead of just strumming it one time. You're like, oh, it sounds like this, and then you missed it already. So when I'm doing this, I expect you guys to try the chord out for yourself and strum it once. You don't have to do that thing that I do, but you can just try to strum it and see if the way that you're playing the chord sounds just like the way that I'm playing the chord. Okay, and if it doesn't, that's when you make your adjustments, and that's basically why we do that. Okay.
This is from, or like Christine was asking too.
Yeah.
She's just asking about the E chord and then making sure that you're not hitting the A string. Like, how do you?
Okay. Well, not hitting the A string basically it comes down to using that knuckle. Okay, that first knuckle that you have. I like to use that first knuckle as kind of like the anchor. Okay, going down on that E string second fret, and from there So I'm gonna
fourth fret.
place my
Fourth fret.
Yeah, fourth fret. Sorry, fourth fret. And I'm gonna place it down, and I'm gonna lift up the rest of that finger. So because that works as an anchor, that stays down while the rest of my finger goes up, and it kind of opens up this A string. So if we look at it from this angle, so if I'm barring it like this is my knuckle right here. Okay. Oh. Okay. This is my knuckle right here. So I'm just gonna lift up using that knuckle to. There it is. So you guys can see it. Using that knuckle as my anchor. Okay? And if this feels kind of uneasy for you, you can use your ring finger there to help support it, keep it down. Pointer finger goes here. So it looks like this, or like this, if you can hold it, without the support. But if you need the support, you can use your middle finger as well.
You're just in a mood today.
Yes, I sure am.
You should.
That's Kumu Aldi to you.
For the next 101, you should come in full on
Yeah, my Hakule. And
Yeah. We should set up a mat for you.
Yeah.
And you come and sit down. That's what I remember.
A hollow mat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have that just I don't know what they call it, like a tapa, like a tapa cloth. And just put it on
Sash,
top.
right?
Yeah, the sash.
Yeah.
And then
Well, For that E chord, you really only need a little bit of clearance.
Yeah.
So I noticed that it really is all about the placement. So
Mhm.
sometimes if you move your finger up this way,
Hmm.
you can get more
can
of that
clear out,
more
yeah.
of that clearance.
Yeah, you can clear it out.
So
So what Aaron was talking about, just by doing this, you don't need too much to cover all three, so you can actually lift it up if you need more clearance so that it clears that A string.
yeah, so move your finger towards you more.
like towards your face.
Yeah.
So it kind of clears it out.
Yeah. And then it's all just playing around with
Mhm.
that and finding how your fingers work.
Yeah, with your fretboard.
And then
Because
and
all
then
ukuleles are gonna be different. Too.
Yeah, once you get it, then you just gotta remember how that feels,
Yep.
and then eventually your finger will just go there every
Mhm,
time.
mhm.
But it's just that first,
Uh-huh.
when you're figuring out, sometimes it's hard to get
Yeah,
it the same
yeah.
way every time.
People have a hard time too, balancing, right? Getting the E string and then not hitting the A string.
Mm,
And I think to get a clean E string,
mm.
you can move your finger closer to the fret wires too, right? So that way it's ringing out more, or you're getting better, you're hitting that note better.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay, so anything else? Any other questions that we may have?
There was so Grandpa 49
Okay.
was.
So we're just letting people know, that are here on the live stream. You can ask your questions on the live stream via the live chat, or we get some questions in from the U Plus forums or via email. So
Yeah, this one was earlier. It's a message. He was just asking, or he kind of wanted to know about. So he knows how to play what is it, blues scale,
yes.
and he knows that it goes a blues scale goes over the C scale or key of C, right?
Yeah.
But he said he also found notes outside of the scale
Mm.
that sound good on the key of C.
Mhm.
And does that work for everything? Or not? I don't think necessarily the scale, but outside of the box,
outside the box. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit tricky because not all the notes in that blues is going to work. Jason Aramoto, talks about putting the stank, in it, and then that kind of devil's note that we talked about in Blues 101 on Ukulele Underground University. Notes like that isn't really going to going to work, because that's specifically for blues when you have that seventh in there, and that's what's gonna help you make those notes make sense. Okay, so with that said, doing blues in rock songs, say for example you have a regular 1-4-5 instead of 1-7-4-7-5-7. Okay, So you can still do your blues on that one regular 1 4 5, but you do have to be careful because I wouldn't really focus too much on the notes that don't fit in the major scale. So for example, your notes for your C blues, you have, right? Like this note right here is not in your C scale, but you can go to that notes, on a C, F, and G. So, oh yeah, so I'll play the C, F, and G from you. There you go. So as long as you're not sticking around too long, you can actually get away with with hitting those notes every now and then. Okay, like I didn't really like stick to that, but I just kind of use it as to to kind of play it really quickly and then resolve to a note that is in the scale. So you can do that in
Yeah, and it still sounds.
Yeah,
Whereas, like, if you were playing a blues,
yeah, blues. It's you can. But if you were to play C, F, G, so it's not really there because that's the note that you want to hear.
It's almost like you're like forcing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're forcing
yeah,
it to
yeah.
fit. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're using a blues scale, it's gonna sound bluesy anyway.
Mhm.
But yeah, sometimes it's just
Yeah,
yeah.
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 I think he was also getting like a little bit confused with like the box and like just should he just like stick to the box or should he expand it to outside of like it's because it's the same notes but just different places on the fretboard basically, right?
Yeah, the box is a good guideline. Okay, I don't want it to be that the box is like that is written in stone kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's like the only thing that you can do.
Well, also
Or-
the box that he's referring to is the Solo Secrets box.
Solo
right?
Secrets
Is
box.
that what he's talking about, or is he talking about blues?
And, well,
The
he was
blues
talking
box.
about blues earlier, but then
Yeah.
I think he's just talking about
Mm.
block. He called it the block, and it's like box, block, island,
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah,
idea,
yeah.
right?
So that was in if you watch Solo Secrets Revealed,
Yeah.
the course on
That's what he's
Ukulele
talking
Underground Plus.
But I also talk about in in Solo Secrets Revealed that like those are the preferred notes, okay? But not necessarily the only notes that you can play. We talked about how playing the notes in between, is gonna make a difference as well. But it just really depends on how long you're kind of sticking around to each one of those notes that you play. For example, that's your main C scale. You can play all the notes in that in that box. So it's at 0 2 0 1 3 0 2 3. You can play 1 in there. You can play 2 in there. You can play all the wrong notes. But as long as you don't linger there and you resolve to a correct note, it's totally fine. Okay, next question.
Yeah, blues is actually interesting.
Yeah.
In that you're using like major chords, like a major chord like type progression, but you're using like a minor bass scale, which is like it shouldn't work.
But it does because
But-
of the 7. The 7 is what
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
making it work.
yeah.
Yeah.
So because you're using the sevens, you can get away with it more.
Yeah, yeah. Because just like for C, really quick, as an example, right? You already have, right? This open A, this second fret and third fret. By adding that C7 in there, that allows you to have 0, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So just by doing something like that and getting that F7 or playing that F7 gives you this D sharp, okay? And so you already have those notes that sound bluesy by just playing the notes that are in the 7th of your 1 7 and 4 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the seventh, like the note that makes a seventh chord a seventh is not even in the scale.
No.
Yeah.
Except for your 5/7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 5/7s. Those notes are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him like he'll probably get away with it more on rock songs than like,
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
pop songs.
Yeah,
Because rock like draws so much influence from blues itself.
from blues.
Like I mean, all music kind of comes from blues, but like it seems like rock is like closer to the root. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
than-
And it also depends on your like confidence with it. Like that could be the wrong note, but if I played it with confidence over
Yeah.
that C, it's like, oh, that doesn't sound too bad,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
But like
yeah.
it's all a matter of how you play the notes as well.
Again,
yeah.
it is like that. You're kind of like forcing it on,
Yeah, yeah.
though, right? Like instead of it fitting in with
Yeah.
it. So use it with discretion.
Yes.
kind of.
So it's not none of it is gospel really. Like you can do whatever you want. That's how jazz and blues was born.
I think
Yeah.
that it's funny because like we tell people that like
Yeah.
oh yeah just do whatever. It's like
Yeah.
music. It's not like
Yeah.
a set thing.
It's art.
And then people are like, well, what do you mean do anything?
Yeah.
Like, do anything.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
everyone followed the rules, we wouldn't have artists like Picasso and and guys like that. Like who, if we just stuck to the rules. So.
Well, we were just talking about Ace of Base, right?
Yeah, Ace of
we
Base.
wouldn't have Ace of Base.
Why? What?
That All That She Wants song. It starts out like in it's like C sharp minor,
Oh yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it turns into like C sharp major.
Uh-huh.
Like as soon as the verse starts,
Mhm.
and it's like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it does because
But
Ace of Base
do
said
it,
so.
just
Yeah,
do
just
it.
do it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
There's always exceptions.
Never
to the
stop the Beatles from doing stuff.
Okay, next question.
Rob asked, "How do you
Yep.
get such great studio quality recordings when you play along outside or do songs, for example, Ice Cream?"
Oh, that's because they were recorded in a professional studio. So, the way that we
Sorry.
do. Yeah, sorry. To kind of break the
Burst the bubble.
burst the bubble. So, yeah, they were recorded in a professional studio. For that particular, Ice Cream was recorded in a professional studio. But for most of our play-alongs, we just recorded here on Ukulele Underground using some pretty good equipment. Not as professional as the equipment used in Ice Cream. But we do it like how traditional music videos are shot. So you would have, the recording already, and then we would kind of play along to the recording while Aaron kind of films it, and then he cuts it up so that he lines up everything, and it looks like I'm playing live, but it's, off of the recording.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
of the videos, and then some of the videos we
Yeah.
actually do record live, like Aloha Oi, and then
Yeah.
Yeah. If you see a microphone in the shot, or
It's probably live.
It's usually
yeah,
live.
It's probably live.
But
There's some of them.
Yeah.
Most of them is not.
and then there are a few that I make it sound like it's live, but it actually
Oh.
was pre-recorded. So hopefully you guys can't tell the difference.
Do I did lip sync when I'm outside? Yes, and sometimes it gets weird. But whatever, I've lost my shame a long time ago.
Yeah. What was it? Spacesuits. The spacesuits video
Yeah, the spacesuits because it was
pretty much sealed the deal.
Yeah.
Your shame.
my shame. That was I guess that was the exact moment where I lost my shame as a spacesuits music video because it was like in a very for Kauai a heavily populated place. It was at the mall, and the mall. There's, it's a mall. There's like gonna be people there, and gonna be people I know there. And
Yeah.
I'm walking around with this box on top of my head. But that was actually the point of the video, was to see if anybody was comfortable enough to do something that silly. If
Yeah.
anybody, took their jobs or their lives a little too seriously, and what happened to, like all the innocence like that was lost, from when you were younger. So that's when I lost my shame. It wasn't when I was on top of a small like a toy like pickup truck and driving through Jason's backyard. It wasn't that moment. It was spacesuits.
Yeah, because I guess that was the point.
Yeah.
Like the song is about, you know,
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
locked into that job,
Yeah,
that kind
yeah.
of that soul sucking kind of job.
Which is cool.
And
If you guys
so-
haven't seen that, check that out.
So we did want to go to people's actual jobs,
Yeah.
and then
Retail.
Try,
Yeah.
try and see if they would be willing to break character.
And I think we had like the janitors, like you know, the custodians at the mall, like they're all stoked too.
Yeah.
Like they put it on, and
Yeah.
my friends at GameStop at first he was like, I'm not putting it on. I'm like, come on, that's for a music video.
Yeah.
We like teaching people like online, making the videos to teach people, right?
Mm.
But I think like that the play alongs are kind of where we get to have fun,
Yeah.
right? Like where
Yeah.
we get to.
Yeah. Some of my favorites are like where we just kind of go crazy. Like my all-time favorite is the play along for True, by Spandau Ballet. That's my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I used to work at the Hyatt, and when I was working at the Hyatt, we were just starting out with Ukulele Underground, and I was telling my boss like, oh yeah, I run this small website. And he goes on it. He's like, "Oh, so I watched the video from your site, and you're like going down a slide with your ukulele, and you're like, I'm like, oh yeah, the love song video." It's just like me being in love with my Kamaku ukulele at the time. It was very funny. If you guys haven't seen that either, go check that out.
Like where it starts off on the bus. Right?
Yeah, and we're like eyeing each other out on the bus. And we're playing hide and seek with the uke. It's and he's like, "Oh yeah, I have a pretty interesting side." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
People go like, "Oh, why do you guys do like these weird videos?" It's like that one is. Everything else is for you guys. That one is
those,
for us.
Yeah, those weird
Sometimes
ones
we
are for
just gotta
us.
do
Yeah.
stuff for us.
Yeah, a lot. Like we were just talking about this earlier. Like a lot of our April Fool's jokes just go over people's heads, but it's mostly for us. Like we like those. Like we like those those little callbacks that we do, like for our April Fool's videos.
Yeah.
And then like there's some people who get it too, and then
Yeah. Like-
joke between us.
Like last year, only had like 4,000 views, and that's compared to like our normal videos, which makes sense. People should be going to Ukulele Underground
To
YouTube to
learn
learn and not to watch like April Fool's videos. But we did a video that was a callback to like is it Sally Struthers. That did
Yeah.
that? Like that did
There's
this,
like a Sally
online
Struthers
course.
commercial.
Yeah, and it was cool. It was cool. I loved doing it, and I had to
Yeah.
like, okay, I need to get that same like tone of voice and. Do you want to make more money?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next question.
I don't know if we have any more questions, but did you want to go over the review that we got in? Or
I don't know if she wants to do reviews. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll do it right now. So we got a student evaluation from Francesca. So I don't know if she's on right now, but she's usually on. She usually watches like Thursday lives or
I think
stuff.
she might not be because she's Italy.
Oh yeah.
So,
But sometimes she's on. I see her sometimes. Anyway, so she sent us a video of her playing, and she wanted student evaluation. So Francesca, if you're watching this, as far as student evaluation goes, I think you've done really, really well in the year or two that or maybe even longer that you've been on Ukulele Underground. We've kind of seen you progress, and you're doing an amazing job. She plays with a quartet, I guess, like a quartet or a triplet. I don't know how many people were on there, but it was like her, bass player, a clarinet player, maybe a guitar player or a percussionist or something. But you're doing great. Okay, if if I have to be nitpicky about stuff, which I guess is the point of the student evaluation, I would say that the first thing I noticed that the volume on the attack on your on the intro picking of your ukulele wasn't it wasn't as good as it could be. Okay, and that's because you used a lot of flesh. And what that means, if you're like strumming like this, if you're hitting it from the side of your thumb and you're hitting it with only like flesh, you're not gonna get a lot of volume out of your ukulele, especially if you're playing in a big room like that with people dancing and talking. You want your ukulele to kind of cut through. So in that sense, I want you to use more nail. And I noticed that there's, you have short nails in your hands, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. If you want, good tone and good attack, especially for gigs like that, you're going to have to grow your nails out a little bit longer, okay? And use your nails so you can get a nice sharp attack that will cut through the room. So instead of going, you have, okay? So you want that attack to be nice, well-rounded, and cut through. Also, the anticipation of what the next note is going to be, because it sounds like some notes are rushed so that you can get to the next notes, or so that you're I guess you're kind of excited to play what the next part is. Just try to keep the beat steady, as far as picking goes. And that's just the intro. The strumming parts and everything else sounded great, to be honest with you. Just the intro picking that you were doing could use a little bit more work in that department of tone, and how it sounds, and keeping a steady rhythm as far as the finger picking pattern goes.
Even the intro though, like the note choices she made, and
yeah, it was great.
What she actually did for the intro, like everything else.
Yeah, because she created that intro, right? Yeah, she made that intro.
Or I don't know. I was telling her, like, it sounds like she has it down already.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like fine
Getting
tuning,
it clean,
and then like being more confident in what you're playing. Not trying to make it sound like you're not putting effort.
Exactly. Because the notes are fine. The arrangement is great, and I think we just need, like what Kai said, a little bit more confidence. So if you play those notes confident, or if you're pretty confident with the notes that you're gonna play, that anticipation kind of goes away, because that each note needs to be played to its full value, and and more efficiently, if you give it a nice rounded tone to it as well, it's gonna make you want to listen to those notes more. Yeah.
I think usually we talk about like when you're like mature as a musician, you know when to pull back.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's like she should be like.
Yeah, because you're in front, don't let that clarinet player hog all the glory. like that ukulele solo that you did in the beginning, and I want to hear that. I want, like in the video, you're hearing that clarinet player really clearly, okay? Your ukulele in the beginning, because it's a solo, it needs to be as clear, if not clearer, than that clarinet player. That's a great way to kind of think about it, okay?
Yeah, and I think like she has the discretion, and she knows like how to. It really is just put yourself forward a little bit more, and she knows like probably that she could pull back when the clarinet comes on, or like when other people are soloing too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay, I have time for one more question.
Yeah, I think we got all the questions answered. People are talking about Poke and Lao Lao.
Oh, okay, Lao Lao.
Oh, there was just one that just came in.
Okay, what is that?
What is the trick to vibrato?
Okay, what is the trick to vibrato? The vibrato, you can do it left or right, or you can do it up and down. Just simple pulses up and down. The trick, and as far as ukulele, because the ukulele you're not gonna get a lot of volume or a lot of sustain in order to keep that vibrato. So the trick is to do the up and down one. The up and down one is gonna give you more vibrato than the left and right one. But it is all situational. Sometimes the left and right one will create a nice little vibrato. But doing that up and down pulse is gonna sustain that note a lot longer. So the trick is to just kind of to use use your ring finger. I like to use my ring finger for a vibrato going up and down, because using my pointer finger, yeah, sure, I can do that. But with my ring finger there, I can kind of guide it with my middle finger behind it. So just like as if I were to do a bend. I have that ring finger under control using 2 fingers instead of 1. So my middle finger, yeah, I can use my pointer finger there, but this is not that efficient as your middle finger, because at least your pointer finger can play other notes or get ready for the other notes, and your pinky finger is there to play, is there ready if you're going to play anything else on top of that. So the trick to a vibrato is exactly that. Small pulses, nothing too big, because if you do if the movement's too big, you're gonna change the tone of that note. So just enough so that you just pulse it. And try to vibrato in time with the tempo as well. So if the tempo was like 1, 2, 3, 4, you can do 1. So that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so that, or maybe even like 16th notes or 8 notes, 16 notes, whatever you want. However fast you can vibrato. Okay.
I don't know if this makes sense, but like I think like with the ring finger, it feels better because you're balancing it out with your pinky on one side,
Yeah.
and your pointer and your mid on the other.
Mm.
Like if you do it with your pointer, all the
It
weight
feels
is, like,
it feels uneven.
on your other fingers. So
Yeah.
I think that kind of, for me, it makes it feel like that's how you can
Yeah.
make it even.
Yeah, ring finger for me. I mean, for most picking, I use my ring finger first to kind of balance everything out, and from there, I mean, you know, a simple trick like that will allow you to form a box around it anyway. You know.
Yeah.
So
I think for most people, right? Like that's kind of
yeah,
their go-to.
yeah. Their go-to ring finger. So, trick ring finger, up and down instead of left and right. But depends, you know, left and right has its place, but up and down, small pulses, and try to do it in rhythm. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. This live lesson has been awesome. Thank you so much for giving us some great questions. If you guys have questions, please direct them over to the UU Plus forum. We'll get all your questions there, or you can email us or contact us on the website. And also, if you guys want your student evaluations evaluated, if you can send us videos over in the UU Plus forum as well. That is the best place to get your questions answered. And who knows, you might get featured on the next live lesson Thursday. So on behalf of Kahai and Aaron, this is Aldrin Guerrero signing off. We'll see you folks next time. Don't forget, tomorrow, Aloha Friday Live Jams, 1 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. See you there. Aloha.